Welcome everybody to Rolling on Three, the first podcast for all three wheelers. Whether you're rolling on a Ryker, Spider, Slingshot, this is the show for you. Today, I'd like to welcome Nastasia to the show. Nastasia is from Texas, originally from New York. Nastasia, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate your time. Appreciate your time. Now, can you tell me, what are you rolling on?
I am rolling on a 2019 Ryker, the 900. I didn't go full blown with the rally, but it still got the speed, so I'm good.
Perfect. When did you pick it up?
I actually got it in February of 2019. Funny thing is I got it, but right after I got it, shortly after, I was in a car accident.
Really?
So yeah, I ended up with a busted kneecap. So I couldn't ride it for a good 2 years, and I'm just getting back on it. So all the work that I've done to it, I've done in the last 3 or 4 months.
Oh man, so at least you had something to keep you busy while you couldn't ride.
Yeah, it sucked though, watching. Well, the plus side was when I got it, I didn't see anybody on a Ryker. So it was like, man, I didn't want to be that one person rolling with it and not seeing anybody. But then I guess over the time that I was down, I started seeing people, because I actually had made up in my mind. I was like, no, I'm going to sell it. I'm not even going to, I should have got a Spider, because I went into the shop to get a Spider. And then I saw the Ryker and I'm like, my husband was like, yeah, that's more of your type. And the price was right. So yeah, long story short, here I am.
Okay. I mean, that's cool. Did you get it from a local spot, or how did you pick it up? How did it come about?
So there was 3 shops here in one in San Antonio, and the other 2 were on the outside of San Antonio. So I actually had to go about an hour away to get my Ryker. And so funny story is, I used to ride 2 wheels before I had my daughter. So 10 plus years ago, I let it, my license, that was back when I was in the military. So I didn't know that when I changed my license over, they didn't put the motorcycle endorsement on.
Oh,
so
okay.
I bought the Ryker, and then found out that my motorcycle endorsement wasn't on there. So the Ryker sat there for a minute, and I had to go take the test and do all that stuff all over again.
I hear you. Well, you don't want to definitely ride around without a motorcycle endorsement.
Nah, definitely not.
Is it a 2-wheel endorsement out there, or you got a separate 3-wheel?
It's a separate 3-wheel course. But when you take the 3-wheel course, this is what I found out. They actually give you just a regular endorsement. So you have to take a 3-wheel course to get the motorcycle endorsement.
Oh, okay. As I believe I've certain people say now they have 2 endorsements. They'll have one for a 2-wheel and one for a 3-wheel.
Yeah, that's what I was under the impression of. But meeting, newer riders, and they've taken the course here, and they're like, oh no, it's just a regular motorcycle endorsement.
How long were you on 2 wheels? Like you said?
About 3 years, and then I got pregnant with my daughter, and I had to, I was a single parent and didn't want to make her grow up, just without any parents. So
right.
I kind of let it fall to the wayside. And my heart for motorcycles has always been there. So
okay,
this was like the happy medium between me and my husband to get me back on the road.
Now, how did that feel though, from 2 to 3? Because my first experience going from a 2 to 3 was like, I thought I got this, and then when I got on, I was like, whoa. No, I don't.
Yeah, it's a different beast. And when I was taking the course, because I took the 3-wheel course, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go in here. I'm just gonna knock this stuff out. You can ride 2 wheels, you can do 3, but
exactly.
I do the leaning, and you don't really need to do that. And it took me a minute. The guy was like, look, he was like, this isn't 2 wheels, it's in a crotch rocket. You gotta actually turn. And I'm like, all right, I got it. It's definitely different though.
No, 100%. I was the same way. I went in with all that confidence. I picked it up from the dealer, and I don't even think I got 10 feet before I was like, wait, what's going on? Wait, this is not the same.
Yeah, it's not. But I love it though.
Right. In the area that you're riding with, are you in is it city or suburbs? Like when you're riding now, how do you What's the?
So I live outside of San Antonio limits. So it's kind of, country to
Okay.
say. Well, for somebody from New York, it's the country. Um, but like most of the riders I ride with, they're in San Antonio. So even when I meet up with them, it's like a good 30-minute drive to meet
Oh,
up with
okay.
them. They're inside the city limits. So most of my riding, the good part is like if I want to do scenery, I can just, come out of my subdivision, go right and see everything. But
Okay.
most of my riding is done in the city.
All right. All right. That's cool. How's those how's those city roads? Is it like, you getting beat up? Because out here, man, we get beat up by those roads.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it's nothing like the New York roads, but you definitely want to have that sway bar and those end links on there. You're gonna tear it up, man.
Listen. As being a former New Yorker, man, I've seen many Rikers. You guys can look on my channel. I've fixed quite a few. That New York City streets will definitely put a Riker to death real quick.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And it's not too far behind out here with all the construction. It's bad.
Okay. So, how's the weather out there in Texas riding?
It's funny you mentioned that. I was online yesterday looking for a AC helmet because I'm like, it's somebody has to have created one, and I did find one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty pricey, but we've had rain for like the past 3 weeks, and I'm
Mhm.
grateful for it. However,
Mm.
when you're, it's a love-hate relationship when you're on a bike because you want to
Right.
get out there,
Facts.
but when it's done, it doesn't go from like no rain to like slowly warm. It's like 90 degrees at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Mm.
So, and then you of course want to be safe and wear the proper gear. So you're out there just like drenched in sweat.
Yeah, I know the feeling, man. I know the feeling. Say, hey, what's worse when you're in that traffic and you're just sitting there
Oh
big.
man.
And the thing is, I found like, okay, I'm trying different helmets. I'm trying, different full helmets, not a half helmet, but like the hybrids. And I got all this mesh gear on, and so it good because I don't burn, but it's still hot, and I'm trying all types of techniques to stay cool. I say the only thing that keeps me cool is moving, so I can't
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah. And then too, the bike doesn't help. That heat from the bike is like,
And you're sitting real close to that asphalt too, so you're getting a
yeah.
lot of radiant heat too. Yeah, I
Oh yeah.
know, I know all about it, and I don't even have that many miles, but I tell you, I have a lot of traffic miles. I tell you that much.
Oh yeah. It's a beast. And some days I'm like, I'm gonna go get some wind therapy, and then I come home, I'm like, I can't do it. Like
I
this
feel,
heat is just,
I
it's
feel
something else.
100%, 100%. Are you just using it as a recreational, or are you commuting with it, or how, or is this a little bit of both?
No, I don't commute with it.
Okay.
It's solely recreational. My job, I'm a clinical educator, so I'm back and forth inside the hospitals, and that would be a lot of like downgrading, putting on a lot of stuff just to,
Mm.
so it's solely recreational. I mean, I wish I could commute with it. I can give me some more miles, but
Well, shout out to you working in the hospital and going through this whole time of that COVID. I know that must have been rough. Shout out to you and all the
thank
healthcare
you.
workers who put their time and energy in. I know it's a rough time. Y'all deserve your love, your flowers, definitely.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. So now you're riding around San Antonio. Where's the chill spot you go with your bike? Where would you go get the food, hang out? Like if I'm traveling, I hit San Antonio, where am I going?
So it all depends where you want to, what you're into. The weekends, or let's say, so for San Antonio, bike night is Thursday. I know some places do Wednesday, but bike night is Thursday mainly in San Antonio. So
Mhm.
the good thing is most bike nights hosted here are hosted by the Power Sports place. And I
Okay.
think it's for a sole competition type thing to bring more sales in. Either way, you're bringing bikers together.
Mhm.
So every Thursday is usually booked by you, either a Hooters, a Twin Peaks, or sometimes they may have it at like a East Bar, or sometimes they may go out to the river and host a bike night and do like a actual bike show where professional bike riders come out and put on a show.
Oh, okay.
Those are usually further out in the outskirts of San Antonio, but it gives us opportunity to actually do a group ride.
No, that's cool. And I like to put that out there for people who, like to travel with their bike cross country and give them a little spot to be like, hey, I heard about that place. Let me go hang out over there and see what's going on. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that's nice. That's nice that they put on these little events for you. That's cool. We can't well, out in New York, they don't want to sponsor any events because yeah, we're shut down from big gatherings out here. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we're treated a lot different in the city area, but I guess the further out you go, it's a little different. They treat you a little different. So
That event that y'all had last weekend though was nice. I wish I could have been there.
yeah, that was some event, but let me tell you something. It was 6 hours of riding.
Oh my
And yeah, New York's not that big. You could
yeah.
travel across New York City in an hour, but
Yeah.
it was 6 hours of riding with 500 bikes. So you can imagine the tedious, but it was
Oh
a
man.
great time. I met guys from Baltimore to Philly to Jersey. I mean, everybody came out. It was a lot of love. So definitely a fun time. It was good to meet everybody, especially people I meet online. So it was really, really nice to see those bikes. It was really cool. And like I tell people all the time, you rarely run into two of the same Rikers.
Yeah, that is true. That is
It's
definitely true.
it's the upgrades. But let's go into mods because I was looking at your Instagram page. I'm assuming it's a Wonder Woman theme. That's what I got from it. So,
Yeah, and
so tell me about your mods.
so I originally, before I was gonna get rid of it, I was gonna do just a color thing. And
Okay.
over time, not being able to ride it and specifically seeing other bikes, and I'm like, well, everybody's doing like either plasti dip or painting the panels, and I'm like, I want something different.
Mhm.
And I wanted something that my kids would actually be like, oh, that's cool. So I fell in love with Wonder Woman, and I'm like, that's I saw a picture and I had it. So my daughter saw the skin on my laptop, and she's like, Mom, what about Wonder Woman? I'm like, I don't know. And then my husband was like, yeah, you could pull it off. And one thing led to another. So I got with over there. He drew me up something because he didn't even want to touch it at first. It was with the copyright things going
Right.
on.
Right.
So I was like, well, just give me a theme, and then kind of went with it. The hardest part is just finding someone to install it. I didn't want to, because I saw on Facebook forums like everybody's like, oh, it's a beast to install. So I
That
was like, let
was
me find somebody.
that was my first video and putting a wrap on my Riker. That's
And
actually it
I
was
saw
hard.
that video. Yeah, I was like, I
It
saw it
was
actually like a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, man, hats off to you, man.
yeah, it was hard. That's the first time I wrapped anything. And, it was like, because, I rode two wheels before. I always tinkered with bikes. So I never really, it wasn't scary to me, but actually a wrap, I never did. I was like, oh, forget it. I'm going to, luckily I went with black. So the floors are kind of like hidden, because it
Yeah.
was not a professional job. But you know what? For me, it worked. And, you really got to get up on it to be like, oh, you messed up this. Nobody said nothing. So far, so good. But what else have you done to the bike?
So I got the grill on there, the Wonder Woman grill from Top
Mm-hmm.
Notch.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually just recently switched out the link case to a bigger case that would actually hold my helmet that I got off of Amazon. I'm actually going to have that plasti dip to match the color. I'm going to go out to Austin next weekend and have that done. I got some speakers put on there with the lights. And then of course I got the actual light kit. Luckily for us, we got, you've probably heard of them, Light the Night.
No.
So they travel to all the Sling Fest, and they're based out of San Antonio. He actually makes his own lights in his warehouse. And I went out there, he hooked my bike up, he does the wheel lights.
Oh, okay.
I actually did my wheels myself. I took a gamble and I plasti dipped those. 2 days later, after having to rip it all off and do it all over again, it's a learning process.
Yeah, it's fun though. It's fun.
It is. It is
fun.
definitely fun.
Definitely.
I ordered a Wonder Woman lasso. I'm waiting on it to come in. So
Okay. Going
yeah,
all
so
out. All right. Hey,
yeah.
man. Going
And
all out.
what's a bike without accessories? I just got, a couple of custom made helmets. And
Mm.
my husband kind of just cut me off right there. Like, all right, you're going a little too far, and yourself, the mods get expensive.
Can I ask how much you spent so far? Or is he gonna just jump on here and just start screaming at me?
Well, since he's not here, I think I might be in the 6 to 7 grand.
Woo.
Yeah, six to
Look,
7 grand, and it that right there, because I'm looking at a Slingshot now, but I would never get rid of my Ryker. It's a different thing. So
yeah, totally. Yeah.
and he gave me kind of like the thing: you want a Slingshot, you gotta fall back on something. So
Well,
we're looking at
slingshots are just as addictive as Rikers when it comes to mods, because I'm quite sure if you watched a video of mine, you saw that one slingshot that was a Bugatti.
yes,
And yeah, so just to let you know, that's $150,000 slingshot.
that is just, man, it is nuts. And
So,
I came close to, like, my husband tried to convince me, because my brother does a lot of electrician work or
okay.
audio.
Mhm.
So my husband tried to convince me to put a subwoofer on my
Mm.
Ryker. And I was like this close, like, yeah, I'm gonna shut it down with that. And then I was like, no, that's just too much. Like, my thing was the comfort level. I didn't want to be on the highway and, like, look at my rear view and my subwoofer and fell out of because we were gonna put it in the case.
Oh, okay. All right. I've
And
seen that. Yeah.
yeah, I was like, I don't want to do that. And my brother was like, well, we can, like, mount it under the seat, and, like, they were just coming up with all these crazy ideas. I'm like, you know what? I'm more here for the cosmetic, not the sound. Just give me some good speakers to roll on. I can hear them past 70 miles an hour, and I'm good.
See, I'm not a music guy. I'm a loud pipe guy, and shout out to my sponsor RLS exhaust. With those
Yeah, I got
premium
that too.
exhausts. That's right, RLS. That's my man over there. So yeah, I'm just into the loud pipes. I like that sound. I'm riding with earplugs. I got a little Bluetooth speaker when I'm stopped at the light. I can hear something, but when I'm moving, I just want that whole sound. So you hear me coming, and that's pretty much it. But I've seen some speaker setups and some of these sound systems on these bikes. I'm like, where did they even put it? Like,
Yeah, it is.
it boggles the mind how they got all that speaker on there. I'm like, wow, they cannons on those things, man.
Yeah, it is not. I was gonna go with the 4 speaker setup, and but then, well, money, of course.
Right, right.
Because and then I said, well, once I heard the two, which is, I have two DS18s on there,
Mhm.
and then my brother was like, you can actually get you a good amp and hear it past 70 miles. And then I put
Okay.
the RLS on there, the Twin Chaos, and I was like, if I can hear it over this, then I'm good.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
definitely. And I mean, I like the sound when I see these guys and girls come with these speakers. I've had people bring me their bikes with these speakers, and I'm like, I don't even know how to put this on, man. I'm like, some of these things look so big. I'm like afraid that it's gonna pop off while you're riding and you're gonna have an accident. I'm like so not into the music thing. Like, I'll fix your bike, I'll put it back together. You bring it in, crash, I'll try to get you back, but I'll put lights, I'll wrap it, I'll do whatever I can, but I don't think I can add these big speakers on it. I just don't feel comfortable putting this stuff on the bike and something happens, and because it's these things fall off and oh my God, I just nah, man, go take it to somebody who could do it. God bless you, but I can't. I just don't feel comfortable. I'd rather just get you back on the road. I don't want to do all this because what's next? Is somebody gonna put
yeah.
wings? I'm waiting to see a fat car tire in the back. It's like,
Yeah,
it's
and
so much.
it's crazy, because it's like it's addictive. It's kind of like a person with tattoos. When they have one, they find room for something else, and that's literally what I was out there in the garage yesterday. I'm like, what else can I do? Like, you get certain things, and now I'm trying to personalize it. And my thing is like, it's only 20% of bikers are women, and, like, I want it to be one that stands out. And it's easy, when you buy a Ryker, they're all the same. Besides, you can choose the color panels.
Right.
So now, and I got mines when they first came out. So there weren't any aftermarket accessories and things of that nature. You kind of just had to go with what the OEM was selling.
Right.
So now you're seeing so many different beautiful Rikers out there that people are putting their personalities into. And that's basically what it is. You're putting your personality into these bikes.
Facts. No, that's absolutely right. Like I said before, you never see two of the same. And, with the wraps and, all the light kits and the speakers. And you're right, the aftermarket is growing. Like I was actually, when to get my Riker, I had to be put on a waiting list. That's how bad it was to get a Riker out here. So yeah, I had to wait a couple of months, and they don't stay in the dealerships here. I think now people have to wait. It's been over. If you wanted a Riker this summer, you were waiting. I think
Wow.
August is the next shipment, but I know it's because of COVID and Canada being shut down, and they having a big problem. I mean, I've waited 3 months for parts, and I'm a brand ambassador, and I still waited 3 months for parts. So I know it's not like, they just not selling. It's just that they can't push them out quick enough. And shout out to all these guys who are coming up with all these aftermarket parts and starting these businesses, man. That's dope, man. That's really dope.
Oh yeah, definitely. Much love to them.
Yeah, but they got me spending too much money, like you, and thank goodness, people are sending me things for free, so because if I would buy all that stuff and be broke, and I'm like, oh man, I can't. Every time I say I'm good, I got everything, I look at my bike and then I find something online, be like, you know what?
Yep, and that's exactly what it is. It's like
more room for helmets. I can't put on helmets. I got too many. I gotta start giving this stuff away. I'm gonna start doing more giveaways because I can't use all this stuff. I got the extra. Now I have the clamp on lights, and I'm not gonna put those on. I'm saying to myself, I'm not doing. So that'll be my next giveaway because I can't.
Well, the big thing also is, like, for me is like I'll get something and then I'll see something that looks better. And I'm like, what am I gonna do with this? Like, I got the link case and then I went and got the attachment. Like, my husband's like, you're not gonna put a cooler on the back of your bike. I'm like, you're right. Let me get something different. So now I got a link case that I'm probably gonna donate, because I'm not just gonna let it sit in the garage when probably somebody out there that wants it. So
I tell you, the one thing I'm probably gonna stack up on, and it sounds weird, but are radiators. I get more people coming to me and be like, yo, my radiator is destroyed. And I'm like, yep.
So I haven't had that issue. Is it like the rocks, or what is it that's called?
No, it's actually, most of the radiator destruction is from bottoming out and hitting that front grill, and it puts a hole into the radiator. So that's where people are having a problem. So it's the potholes, yeah, but it's more of the bottoming out. So you come in and you hit that pothole too hard, and that bike bottoms out, and that front lip hits ground. It winds up snapping and pushing the radiator and putting a hole, because everybody's damage is to the bottom of the radiator. I haven't seen anybody with a rock or rod that went through, because a lot of people use the wiring, the chicken wire, just to put some protection. But most of it I've seen is from bottoming out and then boom, takes the right out, because the radiator sits as low as the bike. So
yeah,
that's the big
I'm gonna knock on wood. Hopefully that doesn't happen to me.
I hope so. I mean, it's not a hard fix, but it's a pain to get the radiators. So I know people's pain when they're like, I can't even drive it somewhere because it can't hold any fluid and it overheats.
Oh man,
that's the big issue. But hey, if you had to describe your Can Am experience in one word or one sentence, what would it be?
One word would be excitement, honestly.
Okay.
I'm 34 years old, so that's young. I'm not even gonna say it's old, that's young, but
a lot younger than me, but go ahead.
And my thing is you only live once, and we have people I ride with that rides a Ryker, and he just got his first bike at 74. And I think it's amazing, but the thing is, he told us why I waited, and, I wanted to, work, and now I want to live. And I just don't I don't, all respect to him, but I don't want to be that. And this is something that is exciting for me. You can get on there and kind of forget about the day you had at work, or the bad kids that's driving you nuts at home. So it's definitely an exciting piece of equipment. I have nothing negative to say about my Ryker. I did have that recall that everybody did on the wheel nut, but what doesn't have recalls, So I love it.
No, I mean, you summed it up. Like I said, every time I ask people this question, I say about 99% of the time I get a different answer. So it's amazing how many people will take the same bike and get a different experience from it, and take their experience from it. And, that's the whole point of, I wanted to show people that, you get this bike and people are like, oh, that's an old man bike. It's got 3 wheels. And I'm trying to explain to them, no, it's just not. It's a different type of world. It's a different type of environment. And what's cool about it is everybody that I meet that rides one, they just been so cool and nice and receptive. And I appreciate the community, and it's just been fun, this whole journey. I started with my bike, to fixing my bike, to YouTube, to this, to that, and all the other things that I'm doing. So many things now I can't even ride as much anymore, but
but it's awesome you're doing this, because there are people that are out there on forums every day that's asking, well, what do you guys, I want to get this, but what do you guys think? This is like the perfect platform for them to go and look. You can see different experiences and, different things that you can do too. I wish this was around when I, got mine. I don't think it would have helped with my decision to get it,
Right.
But well, that's awesome.
No, I mean, it was just one of those things where I say, I started because my whole journey was I bought the bike, I waited, got the bike, rode around, got COVID. And then I was sitting there going, oh, I can't ride, I'm sick. I said, maybe I'll just go in the backyard and start watching other people's YouTube videos. I said, let me go in the backyard and film a video and make something, and I started that. And then it just turned into the videos started getting popular. And so I was like, wow, I said, they're not that hard to work on. I tinkered, and then it turned into people contacting me. And I said, man, I wonder how other people are doing. Like, instead of going on a forum, I said, let me see how other people. And I said, wait, there's no podcast. I said, it can't be. I said, this bike Can Am's been out since 2009. So I said, oh, let me start a podcast and see if people actually, let me send out some emails and see if people want to do a podcast. And then people started responding. I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be something interesting. And then, it just, people started emailing me and, yeah, I want to talk about my bike. I was like, hey, that's great. Let's do something. So I never did a podcast before. So I did what everybody else did. I went to YouTube and found out how to do a podcast. And I said, all right, let me make up some questions that'll be pertain to me, and, back and forth. And then, it just took off. And then I got Can Am sends me an email. Oh, we need to contact you and this and that. So I was like, oh, I'm getting a cease and desist now. I was like, they're like, oh, you can't use our name. Who are you? And, and they were like, nah, man, we really like what you're doing. And I was like, what? It was like, and then, all the talk about that. And I was like, wow, this really is working out. And like I said, so a lot of cool things have happened out of this. Like, I'll have people email me and say, hey, I saw this person on your show and I found out they live 2 blocks over, and now we hang out, we ride together. And I like, this is perfect. Like, that's the whole point. I wanted to show everybody that. So, I appreciate the love and support I get from everybody out there. So that's the main thing.
That's awesome.
So listen, right now I'm getting into that, YouTube algorithm where people be like, I've been watching YouTube too long, I'm a change, so I don't want to hold people up. But if someone wants to ride with you, tell them your social media. If they want to contact you, yeah, I want to do some group ride outs, meet out, that type of stuff. So if you want to put your social media out there.
Yeah, so I actually just started my bike Instagram, which is Wonder Woman. That's WDR_WMN Ryker. That's on Instagram. If you can't find me there, you can find me on Instagram at cutestangel87. I'm always down for a ride. I'm free most evenings and weekends, especially if you're in the San Antonio, Austin area, please hit me up. Or if you just want to talk bikes, we can do that too.
Absolutely. So listen, you heard it. Nastasia's info will be, I just say it right? Nastasia.
Yeah,
Right.
you got
See,
it right.
I got it. I'm pretty good at this. All her info will be posted below. Everybody should know who I am, but I'll tell you again, I'm Keith Hammer. This is a podcast called Rolling on Three. It's the first podcast for all three-wheel owners. If you want to be on the show, you can always hit me up at rollingon3@gmail.com. That's the number 3. You can find me on Instagram, which is the Shadow Black Ryker. Please hit me up. And Twitter, TikTok, any other social media is Rolling on 3. Actually, if you just type in hashtag Rolling on 3, you will find me somewhere on there. Don't forget, this podcast will be on YouTube, streaming on all platforms, iTunes, Spotify. And I think I said everything. Hey, it's been great to have you on, man.
Thank
This was
you
a
for having
good
me. And
episode.
glad you're doing this, man. This is a great platform.
I appreciate the support and the love you guys give me, man. It was great. I'm gonna have you back soon when you spend another like 10 grand on that bike.
I might be divorced by then, but it's all good.
Oh man, I don't want that to happen.
I don't know, 10 grand. I'm gonna have to turn that Ryker into a Bugatti.
All right, everybody. See you on the next one.